I know a lot of you are eagerly anticipating Lost Ark. I have been covering this game for years now, and there were tens of thousands of you online concurrently during their last test phase. Now, I happened upon this article from Game Rant titled 10 Things You Didn't Know About the Lost Ark MMO. And I figure this might be good to cover for all of you that are interested in the game. Now, before we go any further, I am going to be giving away 3 Silver Founders Packs for Lost Ark. The Silver Founders Pack in specific gives you access to the beta test, meaning that you'll be able to get into the beta months before the game launches and test the game out. It'll also give you 3 days head start, 1,000 royal crystals, exclusive pet, exclusive title, resurrection feathers, silver, an equipment crate, a tool chest, a bunch of different ascent chests, and 30 days of crystalline aura benefits. Now, if this sounds like something you might be interested in winning, make sure you're actively subscribed to this channel because this giveaway is only for those of you that are actively subscribed, and I can tell if you're not. So make sure you scroll down, click that subscribe button if you're not already, then go down into the comment section and just leave a comment stating why you are excited for Lost Ark. I will then go ahead and announce the 3 winners a few weeks from now over on my Twitter. So if you're not following me on Twitter, you might want to. That way you can stay up to date with whether or not you're chosen. This is my way of just giving back to you and kind of celebrating the fact that the game is finally coming within the next few months. Now, 10 things you didn't know about the Lost Ark MMO. This lesser known MMO is coming to North America soon. It is not a lesser known MMO. This is one of the most known MMOs of literally the last decade. Here are a few things prospective players might not know about the game. Even though the game hasn't gone international yet, that doesn't mean that the gaming community is not aware of Lost Ark. It has already been available for play in Russia, South Korea, and Japan for more than a year, and gamers on this side of the pond are anticipating an imminent release in North America. Lost Ark combines all the features that make MMOs popular. The area available to explore is vast, and lore is rich and varied. Character customization is a prominent selling point, and there is one overall quest that pulls all of the smaller adventures into focus. Gamers might be wondering what all the hype is about, but the publicity of the release is just starting to get some traction. No, it is not just starting to get traction. This has been one of, if not the most anticipated MMO in years. Here are a few things that the gaming world has yet to learn about Lost Ark. Number 10, it was developed in Korea. If you did not know that, you have probably been living under a rock. Although, admittedly, there have been people that have left comments claiming this is just another Japanese anime weeaboo crap. And then there have been people that have been complaining it's just more Chinese pay-to-win garbage. So maybe there are quite a few people that do not know that this is developed in Korea. South Korea is the unofficial capital of all things MMO. The culture is an important part of everyday life and not really limited to a particular age group. Hundreds of games of several different kinds have been developed in South Korea, and several have made it to international audiences, all of which, pretty much with the exception of Black Desert Online, have failed. MMORPGs that trace their lineage to Korean developers include Lineage and MapleStory, and Black Desert as well. Also, Bless Online. Yeah, I bet you guys all remember that. Lost Ark uses artwork that ESO players would find familiar, along with features from other MMOs like quest, text, and action bars. Is this like an introduction to MMOs for people? Anyway, going on, number 9, a product of Smilegate Corporation. Smilegate is a South Korean company that produces Lost Ark, along with other games for both desktop computers and mobile phones. Their mobile games include the Super Tank franchise and a game that's appeared on YouTube commercials called Epic 7. Speaking of, I'm actually recording a video for Epic 7 right now. I'm gonna be posting that over on the MMO by Mobile channel, I think in like just a couple days from now. So, weird coincidence. Presently, their most popular MMO is an FPS style game known as Crossfire that's currently available in 80 countries and hosts more than 8 million current users. Number 8, the Setting of Acretia. Every MMO has some serious lore. Well, not every MMO, but a lot of them, sure. The name of the vast land that adventurers are exploring is a reference to an ancient Greek philosophy. Acretia refers to a weakness of will that causes people to act against compulsively their own interests. The name might have something to do with the chaos that has descended upon Acretia in the form of aggressive demons and other intimidating monsters. The Lost Ark is all that can save the land from certain destruction. Thus, players must seek it out as the ultimate achievement in the game. Number 7, it swept the Korea Game Awards in 2019. Gaming is popular enough to have its own version of the Oscars, and presently, the closest thing is the Korean Game Awards. Lost Ark had an impressive showing in 2019, a year after its launch. The game virtually swept the award with 6 wins. It took all of the awards for technological achievement, character creation options, and sound design. It also received an award recognizing how popular the game was in South Korea, essentially a People's Choice Award. This also included a nice chunk of prize money, not that they really need it. Number 6, it has been available in South Korea since 2018, but has been in development for much longer than that. Games that are successful in their home countries don't always translate or localize well to other markets. This is why Lost Ark was released in South Korea before there were plans to take it global. But given this is a South Korean MMO, I guarantee you there have been plans to make this global, to take it to an international scale for many years. It was well received for the first year it was available, including the time it was only in Korea. Only after the game had a successful showing at the Korean Game Awards did serious talk of international marketing begin. I highly doubt that. Number 5, it is expected to hit North American markets in 2021. And is expected to. Amazon have confirmed it will. For gamers that hadn't yet played Lost Ark or weren't aware that it existed, the news of a North American release this year is a pleasant surprise. For others, however, 4 years was too long to wait. If gamers want to play Lost Ark now, it's possible to do so from third-party publishers. I actually have a guide on how to play the Russian version in English if you want to, because I mean, I know there are still plenty of countries and regions that are going to be restricted from playing the game once it does launch in North America and Europe. However, finding a version in English might be a bit awkward. Bear in mind that anything an anxious player downloads now might not be compatible with the version that the North American distributor ends up selling. Number 4, Amazon will be the publisher for North America. Lost Ark was a hotly contested property, and there was some drama over which North American company would handle the game's distribution. Though Smilegate is the developer, they don't actually market or sell the game themselves. That varies from country to country. Not always, as example here, Pearl Abyss publishes Black Desert pretty much everywhere around the world now, and the developer is also responsible for tweaks and changes when it comes to translation and localization. Amazon is trying to make some headway in the MMO market, with the much anticipated New World currently in its beta testing phase. Lost Ark could be a successful follow-up depending on how that venture turns out. And in my opinion, I know this might upset some New World fans, but this is going to be much bigger than New World. Number 3, its design is like Diablo. These screenshots are exactly what they seem, revealing how the better part of gameplay takes place. It's not like three-dimensional MMOs like WoW or ESO. Instead, the game is on an isometric 3D platform reminiscent of the Diablo franchise, or for those of you that don't play Diablo, Path of Exile. It's not everyone's preference, with 3D and even VR now available in the comfort of home. However, the style still has a wide fan base and is fairly intuitive for newer players. Number 2, it includes features typical of other MMOs, and that's because it is an MMO. Like, imagine an FPS game being released and people not knowing that it has FPS features. Oh. When MMO players aren't PvPing or taking down big, impressive world bosses, it's all about character customization, professions, and boss fights. Wait, so when they're not taking down big, impressive bosses, they are doing boss fights? Seems legit. Lost Ark integrates a lot of that into the gameplay, primarily in regard to the smooth combat system that lets players show off their gear. Professions include the usual mundane but lucrative gathering skills like gathering plants and harvesting lumber, along with more exciting endeavors like archaeology. There's talk of new professions and classes as part of the expansions and changes that will bring Lost Ark to international players. And finally, the number 1 thing you did not know about Lost Ark.
So beautiful.
And that is apparently that it looks incredible. Yeah, that is their number 1. Lost Ark tries to combine the best of fantasy animation with more realistic looking settings. The result improves the immersion factor even more for the average player, and that's a crucial step for a good video game. Some settings in the games look more like enhanced photography than animation or CGI. It goes to show how far video game production has come since the early days of MMOs and how quickly. And you know what? That honestly wasn't a bad list. It was a confusing list because a lot of this is already very common knowledge, or something that you could have very easily found with a very easy, very vague Google search. But you know what? Here are 10 things you might not have known about Lost Ark. Now, if you have not already and you want to stay up to date with everything concerning Lost Ark, scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and become part of our community. Otherwise, I guess I will see you guys in the next Lost Ark video.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make